Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation today. My name is Paige Hall and I will be presenting my research on parent-child relationships and relationship satisfaction. This research was overseen by Dr. Amy Claridge. I am a graduating senior in the Child Development and Family Science program with a specialization in child development. This research was done in collaboration with students within the department as part of a research methods course. When we started this research, we learned that the general consensus among other researchers is that family togetherness is important to the parent-child relationship satisfaction, but not much research has been done on this particular area of that relationship. We felt it was important to look at the parent-child relationship in emerging adulthood through a retrospective lens of adolescent family experiences. Adolescence and emerging adulthood alike are a time of extreme transition, and we wanted to see how and if the relationship between a parent and their child during adolescence relates to the satisfaction the child feels during their emerging adulthood years, which would be 18 to 25 in this case. This led us to forming two different research questions for this project. One being, are there reports of frequency of family togetherness in adolescence associated with parent-child relationship satisfaction among emerging adults? And the other one is, are retrospective reports of family traditions and celebrations in childhood associated with the parent-child relationship? With these questions, we formed our two hypotheses. If family togetherness is reported high in adolescence, then emerging adults will report higher parent-child relationship satisfaction because the child will have a secure attachment to family and have support when navigating through emerging adulthood. And if high rates of family traditions and celebrations are reported in childhood, then parent-child relationships will report relationship satisfaction because family traditions and celebrations build on the importance of closeness and warmth. To gather our data, we used non-probability sampling methods in the form of the convenience method and the snowball method. We used social media sites such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat to share the image you see to the right and recruit participants. We also used methods such as direct messaging and word of mouth to recruit participants by asking any participants to share the link to the anonymous Qualtrics survey. After collecting all of our data, we ended up with 166 valid participants. Because we were looking for people within the ages of 18 to 25, the average age of the participants was 21.6 years old. 20% of the participants were of Latinx or Hispanic descent, 20% were Black or African American, 12% identified as multiracial, and 47% identified as white. 63% of the survey participants were female, and 27% identified as male, 3% as non-binary, and 4% as something else that was not listed. For our survey questions, we utilized a semantic differential scale with 5 values for each variable of measurement. For the dependent variable, which is the parent-child relationship satisfaction in emerging adulthood, higher scores indicated higher parent-child relationship satisfaction, more family time, and more importance in traditions and celebrations. To measure the parent-child relationship satisfaction, we asked 10 questions on the survey with a scoring range of 10 through 50. The Cronbach's alpha reliability score was 0.919, which means our results are reliable. At the start of the survey, we asked participants to choose their primary caregiver when thinking about their answers to each question. 11.4% of participants reported on their relationship with their biological father, while 74% reported on their relationship with their biological mother. The range we collected from participants was between 13 and 50, with most people reporting strong relationship quality, meaning the data has a strong negative skew. To measure family time in adolescence, we asked 6 questions on the survey with a scoring range from 6 to 30, with higher scores representing more family time. The range we collected was 6 through 30. An example question from this portion of the survey would be, my caregiver came to my extracurricular activities, and then the participant would rate from 1 to 5 how often that occurred in their adolescence. To measure traditions and celebrations, we asked 4 questions with a scoring range of 4 through 20, with the study's range being 4 through 20 as well. Higher scores meant more time spent with family during traditions or celebrations. An example question from this section of the survey would be, my family cooked special meals for celebrations, holidays, and/or traditions. And then the participants would again rate from 1 through 5 on how often that occurred. The results concluded that family time and traditions are correlated with a Pearson's R score of 0.565. It also shows that family time is associated with higher parent-child relationship quality with a Pearson's R score of 0.361. These are moderate correlations. We found that the strongest correlation was between family time and traditions/celebrations. The results do support the hypotheses as it provides sufficient evidence to conclude the importance of family time and traditions for the parent-child relationship satisfaction. One interesting aspect of the results was that family time was the only significant factor of difference between male and female participants, with scores for family time being slightly higher among male participants. Limitations with this study were our small number of participants and lack of diversity of participants in terms of race and gender. Another limitation was the caregiver options for the survey. Some participants did not pick a single caregiver and thus were not able to be counted for data. This was an issue with a few demographic questions as well. Having more options for people to input their specific racial and gender identities might yield higher numbers of participants. This would make the results more reliable because there is a larger amount of information being given. I think if someone were to do this study again, they should look at multiple retrospective reports from different stages of life to see how the parent-child relationship exists through those different stages. Another way of possibly performing the study could be to use the case study method. The case study method allows for more in-depth information on the subject because it is information collected over a longer period of time. Using a case study method can mitigate the need for retrospective reports. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you all for listening. Please take a look at my references if you are interested in learning more about the parent-child relationship. Thank you again for your time.